Welcome home. This is Leo Kane with Beryl Engineering and Inspection, reminding you that the Marleys were dead to begin with.
Oh my gosh, I don't get it. What is it? What's the Marleys?
Pat, help me out here.
Is it a movie related? Is this where we're going with this?
You don't know the Christmas story with Scrooge? It's a book from the mid-1800s. It's about how rich people should give all their money to the poor.
Well, here we are, another Christmas. It's a few days before, and
Wait, neither one of you have seen The Christmas Carol or read The Christmas Carol or know anything about the three ghosts?
I've read it, yeah. Well, actually, I've seen a variation of the movie, I think.
I mentioned the first line of the book.
Yes, I do know about that. The ghost of Christmas past, Christmas present, and Christmas future, right?
Christmas
Isn't
future.
It? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
You guys are killing me.
I knew that one.
Really? I did the reference and you didn't know it. Just like you probably remember this one. How do gingerbread cookies stay warm?
I don't know.
They use cookie sheets.
So cute. It's so cute. I don't have a realtor joke this morning. I'm sorry. Good morning. Welcome. I'm Katrina Madewell with Keller Williams Realty, and you're listening to Tampa Home Talk.
Yes, the Christmas edition.
Yeah, for a long time.
Over 10 years.
It has been over 10 years officially.
I'm so excited.
I guess we'll have to take that down the end of the year because we're rolling into year 11. So.
Yeah, how does that work? Is it like, are we doing calendar year or what we refer to as a fiscal year?
So my anniversary year, so when in October started year 11. It's the beginning of year 11.
Oh, so we should take the 10 down now.
Well, no, we just celebrated 10, so we're still celebrating for another week maybe.
I'm all fine with that. So
all
do
right.
we have some numbers this week?
We do.
Numbers this week?
Well,
decimal numbers this week?
You know, remember I've said this all along. My prediction is we're going to see a lot more inventory hit the market in
January
of next year. Definitely going to happen. The number of new listings coming in at 463 this week.
Lowest of the year.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Except till next week. Because, normally we don't do a show the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's. But since they're on Mondays, which is my favorite time to have these.
Kind of messed us up a little.
It's the least disruption to the work month.
You're right about that. So the price decrease is coming in at $619.
That's half. Everything's about half so far.
Sold coming in at $652.
That's normal.
Pending $607. And the number of withdrawns 41 and cancels 130. Yeah. It's funny you asked that question because I've got this question several times this week from my own team and other people and sellers and buyers. I've had this conversation. They say, oh, we've been in a seller's market. We must be in a buyer's market now, right? That's what they'll say. I'll say, no, we have something called a balanced market in the middle. We haven't even hit that yet, but we're close.
No, we're not. We haven't hit the balanced market yet?
Nope.
I figured we'd be close. I mean, we were getting, when we were analyzing the numbers last week, we were getting towards 4 to 5 months of inventory.
We are. We're a little over 4. It was interesting. I was looking at these Florida data, the Florida Realtors data from November, and this is showing 2.7. Something's off, but we did a manual calculation from MLS. We're definitely over 4. They've got Hernando in their numbers. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But.
I mean, pretty much if you want to live in Hernando and you know what you want, and you're going to find those homes.
We looked at the absorption rate by county, so.
And what is the absorption rate, and what is a buyer's or seller's market?
Yeah, it's a good thing to cover. So a seller's market, which is what we've been in, I would say we've been in an extreme seller's market for the last several years, but it's where you have a 0 to 6 month supply of homes. And a balanced market is where you have a 6 to 12 month supply of homes. And did I say balanced rate? I did say balanced rate. Okay. And then a buyer's market, sometimes I'm like, what did I say? A balanced market is 12 months or more in the market. So what that means, like this whole balanced market and absorption rate, it's just basic supply and demand. It's the law of economics. And so essentially,
Adam Swift, for those that remember, 5th grade economics.
The number of items that you have compared to the market demand or the number of people you have wanting to buy it. So in today's market, a 4-month absorption rate means with all the homes currently on the market and all of the buyers in the market, how long would it take to sell all of those homes that are on the market? And that answer is a little over 4 months to sell them all if nothing new came on.
Well, that never happens. There's constantly new homes on the market. And
correct.
What's interesting about these numbers is they don't take into account the new builds. because those aren't on the market.
There's some in there, but it's not all of them.
Yeah, they're sold in the company store.
Yeah, I mean, we as Realtor members, we put those in so that the data is there. Most of the good ones do, but if you can imagine how many real estate agents there are, how many sell onesie twosies are definitely not thinking about putting them in
Last time I did a
MLS.
count, there was 17,500 in the greater Tampa Bay area. Now, that was pre-COVID. I would imagine that number has gone down.
It's definitely gone down.
Yeah, because...
especially when Realtor dues renewed.
Well, I would think it would go
November.
down because when the market was hot, when we were in this extreme seller's market, and the market's hot and you can list garbage and you'll get above ask and multiple offers in one weekend, anyone can be a real estate agent. But when the market's tough like this, you need to actually be a good agent. You need to, and this is why you need to contact someone like Katrina. You need to be able to put your house on the market. You need to know what it's priced for. Because all these price decreases, they're chasing a number they'll never hit. They're going to constantly be decreasing, and they're constantly going to be chasing an imaginary number due to whatever reason. And that's just a bad real estate agent. Or you get these other real estate agents who are trying to help out a friend, can't negotiate a deal, and they'll lose, if there's 2 offers on a house, they'll lose 100% of the time.
I mean, all of those things definitely matter, but do you know one of the biggest things and the biggest reasons why it's so different and why those agents aren't going to be able to sell a home unless they really sharpen their skill in a different market? It's servicing the listing, because in the last several years, agents have not, I mean, you've had to service the listing, but when I say service the listing, it's a basic service of the listing, right? You put your signs on, your lock boxes, you make sure there's flyers, you do all the things, you get feedback. You don't have to, you didn't have to chase feedback because you had an offer. So sellers didn't care about feedback when they have an offer and they're going under contract. But when you've had showings and no offers or no showings, that's a problem, right? That's definitely price. So we have to go through that data, and we look through all of that. We look through so much back-end data. Once we have a property listed, we pull metrics from all the major sites. So Realtor.com, Zillow, our MLS has a ton of data that we can't see until a listing is live. So once a listing's live and we have at least a week's worth of data, we can have a pretty good indicator on how that listing's going to perform.
Now, how does that work? Go for it, Pat.
I know.
Is that a Netflix or a...
They have a thing on there now called the mansion. Everybody's trying to sell their houses.
Well, that's California, yeah. I mean, they've started taxing everybody everywhere they can. That's been in place, I believe, for a while.
That kind of reminds me of a tax that took place in the early 1800s in the UK. Do you guys know which tax I'm referring to?
Mm-mm.
It was actually called it was a windows tax. They actually taxed your buildings based on the number of windows you had. So homeowners who own slum tenants would basically brick their windows in. And you have to think, back then, you're heating your place due to coal, and that's how you did a lot of your heating. So they were actually killing a lot of their tenants for carbon monoxide poisoning because they didn't want to pay taxes on having windows.
Wow.
The tax was eventually repealed, but yeah, there was a windows tax back in the day. So mansion tax, luxury tax, window tax, these strange taxes lead to interesting things. Now, if we think back to the late 1700s as opposed to the early 1800s, there was another tax that Britain imposed on their subjects that actually caused a revolution.
What was that?
The intolerable taxes. It was a tax on tea.
Oh,
Led
okay.
to the Intolerable Acts, which led to even more taxes. So just put it out there. You got to be careful how you tax your people. It's led to death, war, rebellion. All these things come from taxes.
Well, look at, I mean, the state of California, they have an exit tax.
They do. They have to, because so many businesses want to leave because they have so many extra rules.
People too. They're taxing homeowners too.
Yeah, Silicon Valley.
Yes.
They do.
They have a tax on your home when you sell it if you don't have a property there that you're moving to. And it's interesting because I've talked to some other people. One guy I remember I talked to, I was sitting in a Tesla supercharger, and sometimes people talk, sometimes they sit in their car. This was right when the storm had happened down south. So I was talking to him, and he said he was from California, and somehow we ended up getting on this issue, on the same subject that we're talking about, and he said that he actually avoided like tens of thousands of dollars in taxes because he had another property in California that he said he moved to, and I guess he did short-lived, but he sold the big house, moved to this little house, and then of course he could probably keep that as a rental, I guess, maybe, and avoid the taxes, but if he sells that one, then he'll have tax on the little one.
Yeah, it's just insane with the taxes, what they try to do. California tried to stop businesses from leaving the state, and then you have to think Silicon Valley, which I believe is now no longer in California.
Did they move, really? Yeah.
There's an offshoot in Utah.
Look at Tesla. They left.
Yeah.
They're in Texas.
Yeah, so as many of these companies just want to leave and have satellite offices. That's what makes Florida such an attractive state.
Yeah, they're not business friendly in California at all.
They're not anything friendly in California.
Yeah. So what were you going to ask? Do you remember?
Oh, I don't remember.
You had a question.
What I want to ask, and I'm going to just deviate away from real estate for a little bit. It's about Tesla. Did you take your Tesla in to get it fixed?
No, you don't have to take it in to get it fixed.
No, they just do it remotely.
Oh, really? Because they said something about the operating system when you were, hands-free.
All they're trying to do is put more control. So the next time it updates, basically you're not going to be able to take your hand off the wheel at all. Not even for a second, probably.
What happens then? The auto drive turns on?
No, it flashes at you, and then it makes you put your hands back on the wheel. And if you don't have your hands on the wheel, then it'll flash, 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 blue. It gets more like faster.
Hands on the wheel or hands on the wheel?
Hands on the wheel, and then
both hands.
Then it gets red. It knows if you're toggling or if you're like a human has your hand on there. And then if you continue to ignore it, it will turn off autopilot.
I'll never forget the time I rode with you and you didn't touch the steering wheel all the way down the road and you knew what to do and where to do. It's amazing. Now, all I do is see Teslas everywhere. Everybody's catching up behind me.
Well, I mean, I see them anytime I pass a bank of the special parking that you get to plug in. I mean, it's more convenient than the handicap parking. It's more convenient than the pregnant mother parking. It's your Tesla parking.
Well, we could have a little. The Cybertrucks are coming out now.
Cybertrucks?
They're actually launching them. I had a friend that got his email that it was going to be in to build out the specs.
But the most efficient form of transportation, though, is still going to be the train, because the amount of fuel it needs to move the amount of what it moves is just. If you compare
I don't know about any local trains around here, Leo.
There's train tracks all over the place.
Yeah, but can you hop on one and come on up to Land O'Lakes and do a show?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, you can't.
But what's interesting is the train tracks run along US 41.
They do.
So
they actually go very far north.
You could probably jump. I don't recommend this.
Train jumper?
Train jump on, train jump off, and you can get close.
I know that sounds... Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
All the time, but they're like cargo trains.
I'm surprised they don't come up in traffic and weather.
I always wanted to do that. I always wanted to be like a train jumper when I was young, just to see where it went and just get off whenever I wanted to. I never did it.
For me to do it, I need to get a bandana and grow a curly mustache. So it's not.
It was like a weird little fantasy. I wanted to just jump on a train. Anyway.
If you want to jump on a train, text us at 813-377-2775. That's 813-377-2775. We'll get you all the information that you may need to hop on a train legitimately with a ticket as a passenger.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the holiday lights and where you can find them. Stick around.
Welcome home. This is Leo Kane with Beryl Engineering and Inspection, reminding you to have a happy holidays. Speaking of which, you know how sometimes you go to the fridge and you're checking to see if your milk or your cheese or any other dairy product might be bad? You should never ask a snowman to do that.
What's I don't get it.
You should never ask a snowman to do it because everything smells like carrots to them.
Oh, okay. Got it. Okay, dad joke number 2. Here we go.
I'm tapped for the week. I do have one for next week, though. It's a New Year's Eve one.
I got to get up to speed on my realtor jokes and make sure I have these on our outline. I don't remember them like you do.
Oh, I just got to remember hundreds. Speaking of hundreds, when I hear the word hundreds or thousands this time of the year, I think of lights.
You Think of Lights, and our guest this morning is going to be the Burton family, and they were recently highlighted in a competition for the Great Christmas Light Fight. We're going to let them chime in and talk all about that, but if you haven't yet made a chance out to taken a chance to go see their display in the Valrico area, they are, is it 2014 Sydney Road? Do I have that right? All right. Oh boy. Okay, Valrico. Make sure that's in your GPS.
That's 33510, right?
33594, right? Look at there. Well, we have Audra and Rodney Burton. Welcome to the show, and I'd love to chat a little bit about your display. Can you guys tell the person listening what they'll see if they make a trip to come check out your house? And then I'd love to know the history, the background, how you guys got started, where you're at right now.
So when people come out to see our light show, it really is an experience. It's not just driving by and looking at someone's house to see what they have. You actually really, need to kind of park the car, get out of your car, come up to the driveway, and basically we feature a 90-minute show before we have repeats. So we have several different songs in our light show display. It ranges from Christmas to Disney to popular music that people, listen to on the radio, and the lights are all synchronized to the music as we're watching.
And you guys have more than 110,000 lights, right?
We actually do. We have 120,000 lights this season.
Wow.
We grew a little bit from last year.
So when you're adding lights, you have to reprogram them all to be choreographed with the 90-minute show and the music selection. So how difficult that is to add a string of, let's say, 100 lights.
So it's more or less when we add new props to the show that I have to reprogram that prop in. But honestly, the technology continues to improve, every day. So, and we're going to Christmas conferences and learning new techniques. And so even if I already have a song done, I'm still trying to make it better for the next.
So how would someone actually do this? Are you telling me all these houses that I've seen over the years that have the choreographed lights and the music, which I think is so fascinating, by the way, how does one even learn to do that or program it? Are you going to a Christmas conference in order to figure that out, or does someone have a programming background? What is that like?
So this is not we do not do this professionally. So this is truly a hobby, and it's basically a labor of love is the way I would put it. Takes lots of patience, and yes, we go to Christmas conferences in Florida every single year, and then we went to Las Vegas one year for a big conference.
Huge community out on Facebook and around the world for Christmas lights. You have no idea until you're exposed.
So tell me, Rodney, whose idea was this? Who decided to, have you guys always done this? I mean, at some point it probably started one year, right?
It took Rodney 25 years to hang a Christmas light, let's just say. I've always decorated the inside, and I had to beg him to took 25 years to finally hang a light.
Tell me more about that.
She took me to Osborne Lights in Disney, and that's what changed me. While watching those lights, I felt like I was 13 again, and I felt God put a calling in my life to start doing lights. Because the more I watched and looked at people, I saw how they affected them the same way it affected me. So that began the journey for life. Once we left, I was already thinking it's time.
So when was your first year that you guys decided to do a light display?
So our first year of doing this, our first 3 years we just did regular Christmas lights was in 2015. And then we started our light show was 2018 was the first season of our light show, and we only started with 5,000 pixel lights.
What's a pixel light?
It's a new style of LEDs that don't have a set color. So when you come see our show, we can do any color we decide. All of the songs will be in different colors and themes. That's what I'm saying.
Nice.
And for the size of it, it's almost like being at Disney. what everybody's telling me.
Do you have fireworks too?
No fireworks.
No fireworks,
But there are people that have them in their show that we know.
but we have a water feature, and we also have light beams on the top of the roof that shine throughout the sky for 5 miles. We all dance to the music. Everything that you see is going to be synchronized.
How does that even go? Like, how hard is it to program your lights and set all that up? And then, like, I imagine the first year was probably the hardest, right?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm definitely, we like to say I'm the light magician, and Rodney is the light technician. So he sets everything up in the yard, and then I take care of the programming part. But, you know, I've had great teachers. Again, I'm taking classes, I'm watching YouTube videos. But they put out a great program that's called X-Light, and there's, you know, people that are much more smarter than I am that actually take care of, you know, creating that process so that we can all use this software if we choose to with our Christmas light display.
That's
It's a free platform that they continue to upgrade year after year to make it more user-friendly.
That's incredible. It's so, you know, I had this weird thought I have to ask just because I'm a real estate agent, and I was thinking to myself, can you imagine, like, with a house like this that's all lit up, if someone were to sell their home and they had a for sale sign in the middle of that? Can you imagine, like, the amount of traffic they would get?
True.
But I can't imagine, like, what the neighbors would think, right, if you had this display forever. And I think at some point people don't, right? Because I remember I lived in the same neighborhood for 20 years, and there was a couple neighborhoods that were like this, or a couple houses in our neighborhood that had the synchronized music and the lights. It was a whole big display, and I've watched them grow and get bigger and bigger over years. And one of them, it wasn't there last year.
Oh, they sold.
So at some point, you know, I know people do sell or downsize or move or whatever it is. Talk about that. I'm just curious your take on that as someone that does this.
So we actually, our neighbor to the left of us was here before we even built our house, and the neighbor to the right was here before we built our house, but the neighbor on the left just sold his house this year, and God truly blessed us with somebody to buy the house that had already been coming to the light show for the last 3 years.
Yeah, so they knew what they were getting into, basically.
And now they appreciate that they can just walk over with their kids and watch the show, and they don't have to fight the traffic.
Can you imagine, like, if you didn't know what you're buying into?
Do you put that in the seller's disclosures?
No.
Do you have to put that?
It's not a material fact.
It is a material fact.
No,
You
it's
can't
not.
drive on your house street for.
It's not a material fact. It's not.
So I'm curious about the traffic. How early does the traffic start in your neighborhood because of your
And
light show?
how long is it going to take to actually get to your house
Because
if I
a
come?
90-minute show. People.
How do you get home?
Yeah,
You
how do
probably
get home?
can't. You got to park.
We don't leave. Yeah. The show starts at 7, and there are people that will start getting here around 6:15, especially on the weekends, just so they can get like a close parking spot. Otherwise, you're parking way down the road and having to walk up. But that people continue to do it because they just, you know, feel that our light show is, you know, just something amazing that they get to see for free. And, you know, again, we're always outside. We're always talking to people. We're uplifting people that, you know, maybe, you know, dealing through crisis during the holiday season, and really just trying to make an impact on the community.
We don't have kids, and everybody thinks that we have kids. We tell them, no, this is strictly for the community. This was created by a vision and a gift that God has blessed us with to be able to pull this off, because we've been doing this for 6 years. It truly takes 1 calendar year for this production. And so every year about this same time in the years past, we will be thinking about what's coming for next year. And by the end of February, we must know exactly what cost is going to be involved, how many lights, how many ports each one of these lights is going to be plugged in order to buy boards so that you can build a controller. Everything that you're going to see at our house, do it yourself. All 120,000 have been pushed in by hand.
I'm really curious how long it takes you guys to set up and what happens when you have a technology snafu, and have you experienced anything like that? And I would love to talk to you about that if you got a few minutes and you can hang around. We've got to roll to a break, but we'll be back here on Tampa Home Talk, and we'll talk about the Burton Family Light Show in Valrico. We'd love for you to go experience their Christmas magic that they have set up for you. Our author number, if you're driving and you want some information, some of you guys have that locked in, 813-377-2775. You can call or text 813-377-2775. We'll be right back.
Welcome home. This is Leo Kane with Beryl Engineering and Inspection, bringing you the Burton Family
Yes.
Great Christmas Light Fight.
They already did that. We
We already brought them?
They're on the show still.
Yeah, they're still on the show. I'm just reintroducing them.
I know, but that's what does your house have a name?
No, we just call our ourselves the Burton Family Light Show.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Do some people name their house? They do, right?
We should name the address.
Yes. Go ahead, Leo.
That was the year that we built. What is the chances of that happening?
Yeah, 2014.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Leo, the Great Christmas Light Fight, that was a competition that they participated in.
Oh.
And it aired on the 3rd. Where did that air?
It was on ABC and also the next day on Hulu.
Okay.
Nice. But where's the address for the people that want to see the 7 o'clock show?
2014 Sydney. There, you guys are at 2014 Sydney Road in Valrico.
Correct.
SYDNEY. 2014 Sydney Road in Valrico.
And if we want to check out the show, we recommend getting there no later than 6 o'clock.
Well, 6:15ish.
For the best parking, the show starts at 7, but yes, definitely get there early for a good parking spot.
And you said it's 90 minutes and then it repeats, yeah?
Yes, 90 minutes and then repeat, correct.
On Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, we set out 20 chairs in the driveway so people can truly get a comfortable feel to see the show.
Now, what's an average amount of viewers you have on any given day?
So we have a couple hundred people, each day during the week, probably every hour, right? And then on the weekends, it's even more.
So when people leave, somebody else comes.
For sure. Yeah.
Or you find parking space to walk up. So we got a long fence line. Our property is like 350 feet wide, so there's lots of space to stand. And the way we set the show up is kind of random view. So no matter where you stand along the fence or in the driveway, you can see the whole show. That's the way it's set up and staged.
How far away do people park, so they don't get stuck in the traffic? Where would you recommend they park?
Well, I think our road is probably something like a mile long, so there probably are people that are parking, it's probably the furthest would be probably a half mile down the road.
Okay.
But there's grass and next to the privacy fence that's all the way down the whole street.
Yeah.
So they have somewhere to park and be off the road. We recommend everybody to park off the road so it doesn't create traffic.
How long did you say it takes you guys to set this display up?
Since February, I heard.
Well, they start a year early, but how long to actually set it up?
Every year is a calendar year and when it's full off.
So he started setting this up the last weekend in September, and it was 34 days, 10-hour days for setup.
So putting lights out, that's how long?
Yes, well, because it's very meticulous. You have to run, all the extension cords, there's cat ties involved.
There's so many things to it, and it's not just typical light show. It's not like wrapping lights around trees and branches and setting things out like that. It's a true display. So we might have snowflakes on our roof. This is a synchronized show that has been thought through from beginning to end. Everything has a specific place in the yard. Nothing is blocking anything. The ground cover all blends in. It's really hard to describe. You have to see it for yourself.
Yeah, highly recommend checking it out. And this is in Valrico at
2014
Sydney Road. And so I've got, as the engineer, I have a question. How long does it take you to tear down said 120,000 lights?
I want to know how many people help you set it up. Do you have help
Did
setting
your
it up?
neighbor? Yeah. Are your neighbors help setting it up? And it, no.
This is a two-person setup and design setup. So I set up the majority of it, 95%. There's 4 pieces that I get help with. But literally, when you come and see it, it'll explain itself. There is nothing out there like what we have because the way our house is designed, all the props have been utilized to cater to the build of the house. Everything is tied in place. There is very few holes in our house. All in our house. Everything on the roof is tied and hung with fishing rods. Really, I'm not bragging about us. I'm just trying to tell you what we've done, and it's definitely different. When you see it, you'll understand.
Now I understand that.
You're gonna dance.
Now I understand these lights are energy efficient, but what kind of energy bill spike do you get during this time of the year?
Well, we actually just did the research recently for someone who was writing an article about how much it cost for Christmas lights. Now, we of course can't tell you if this is like fully based on the lights, but last year our light bill went up about $100 for December and January. So not a lot for what we have to go.
Everyone's bill, though, in general, went up. But I would say, I guess the question is,
These lights are really energy efficient, though.
so your bill in March compared to like when you get the January bill, how different is that?
Yeah, it would be like about $100 difference.
That's not bad. I would
bad.
expect a lot higher.
No, they're only 90 minutes.
Well, no, they keep doing it. They repeat it, don't you?
Yeah, it keeps on rotating. It runs from 7 to 2.
Right.
They run 2 shows.
And then 7 to 7 Friday to Saturday.
Do you?
They also do worship hour on Sundays from 6 to 7.
That's awesome. Do you have any Scrooges that are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe all this traffic that they bring?
We have one in the back neighborhood every now and then. I guess if people are just kind of like parked in the road in front of our house because they're supposed to be moving, they'll start beeping their horn. But I think for the most part, there's a back way out of this area, and I think most people realize this is the time to keep that back area instead of coming into the front.
So if you want to visit this light display, 2014 Sydney Road in Valrico, definitely check it out. Starts at 7, ends at 10.
Except on the weekends, ends at 11.
Oh, is it 11 on the weekends?
And we have a radio station that tunes that you can play in your car, and that's also the speakers that we have out of the car. So you have to tune to 92.3 in your car, and it'll play in there, and you can watch it from your car.
That's really close to one of our signals. We're 92.1. That's one of our FM signals.
That is one of our FM singles.
Super cool. All right. What was that? Is it fast? So is it faster to take down versus put up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It takes a little bit I do it. Everything is calculated out. There's a spot for every single day. And it's just attention to detail. But I can take the whole show down, type it up, and store it in 3 weekends by myself.
And how long are you guys going to be running the show through? When are you going to be wrapping it up?
January 31st is our last day.
Oh, wow. So into January.
Yeah, that's great. That gives me a chance to check it out.
That's incredible. Well, what was that, Rodney?
Over 100 songs to rotate. Every Friday there's something
That's awesome. I love that. And you guys have to reprogram that every time?
it's already done.
Already done.
Programs it before the year starts. All of them songs.
You guys are incredible. I can't wait to meet you. I'll let you know when I can stop by and check it out. I can't
There
wait to
is
see
one
your light
burning
display.
question I need to ask.
What do you got to ask?
What is their favorite song in the rotation?
Ah, that's a good one.
That's a hard one. That's a tough one. I would probably, I don't know, I think I would go with maybe the fan favorite that we have is probably like Frozen. Just seeing all the little kids, get so excited about the Disney song and singing to their heart's content. I think that really brings me to life.
I have 2 favorites. My favorite is Squirrel Wreck, and then the other one is Harry Potter.
Okay.
5 strips of different songs combined together, but it does magic on the house.
Yeah.
You're going to be blown away. see what these lights can do compared to what you see.
So these aren't just Christmas songs then? I was thinking they were just Christmas songs.
No, he said they do also. They do a different variation of stuff.
I'm very impressed.
Everybody. We even got a couple of military tributes as well. And they in there every season. We never take those out.
Now, do you guys publish a schedule or anything on what you have playing when?
We don't have that. No, we don't really post that because we never know if we're going to take things changed out the last minute.
It depends on the traffic too.
Right.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. Well, 2014 Sydney Road in Valrico. Definitely go check out Audra and Rodney's light show, the Burton family. Let them know you heard them right here on Tampa Home Talk. And thanks so much for giving us your time this morning, guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right. Merry Christmas. Have a great time, and go check out their light show. Let them know you heard them here on Tampa Home Talk. We did compile a list of 31 light shows in the area. I'm going to try to run through those really quickly. Some of them cost money, some of them don't.
I'm just going to sit back and let you go.
I tried to put these in order by area. So I started up north with Snowcat Ridge in Dade City. That's the Alpine Snow Park. There's also the Symphony of Lights in Wiregrass. That's hourly with snowfall. I know that is also free.
Snowfall, so they do the little the foam bubbles?
Yeah, I think it's the foam bubbles.
Yeah.
Prager Family Farm has a Christmas light show. It's $15. It's packed with a ton of activities.
That's in Odessa.
And when you pay once, you can come back all year on the same ticket. And they're at 16907 Boy Scout Road in Odessa. We also have 22619 Newfield Court in Lando Lakes. I know there's another one, too, that I didn't put on here that I wanted to verify was there. I didn't see it. There's one in Temple Terrace, the Temple Terrace Light Show, 7804 River Ridge Drive in Temple Terrace. There's also the Sylvan Ramble Light Show. This is free, and this is the last year
It's free?
that this light show is going to be produced. Yes, it's free. And this is at 4412 West Sylvan Ramble Street in Tampa, in your neck of the woods, Leo. Of course,
I like how we have the main players here on this list. It's
the
just-
main ones are on here too. So, of course, Busch Gardens Tampa, which is a cost. Zoo Tampa has the Christmas in the Wild. That's obviously a cost.
And I don't see, is the Florida Aquarium on here for snow days?
You know, I should have added them in there as well because I know they have stuff too, but this was the light, like 31 light type thing.
No, they have lights too.
Okay.
And they have snowball fights. You can throw snow. You can do slingshot of snow.
So the Florida Aquarium has something, their
They
player in the park.
even have a snow maze.
All right.
Okay.
Chick-fil-A on Waters Avenue. Don't forget about them. They put up a stellar display. If you have not seen that, you're giving me this look like you've not seen it. You've not
I
seen it.
work on waters. I've never seen it.
You can't miss it.
Okay. Okay.
Try again.
Oh, 6229. That's up in like
6299
West Chase.
West Waters
Right.
Avenue. It's by the expressway.
Yeah.
Yep. There's also the Tampa River Light Show. Oh, wait, I skipped one. Tampa Winter Village Skating Rink on Curtis Hickson Park.
The skating rink's always fun.
Tampa Riverwalk Holiday Light Show. You also have the Pirate Water Taxi River and Light Show. The Henry B. Plant Museum does their annual Victorian Christmas stroll. That'll cost you $18.
That's what I'll be doing tonight. I'll be doing the Curtis Hickson Riverwalk River Taxi.
All right. Also, Clearwater has a Christmas tree at Station Square. That's at 612 Cleveland Street in Clearwater. Largo Central Holiday Park. Have you ever seen that one, Leo?
I have not been to Largo.
That one's free.
anytime
It's
recently.
really an incredible. That's a walkable display. Really, really great. It's all through the park. Largo Central Park. There's also Lights of Lake Park. That's in Seminole. And then Oakdale Lights at 2719 Oakdale Street in St. Pete. And then don't forget the Trop. They have Enchant Christmas in downtown St. Pete. Stick
Do
around.
that
We'll be
tomorrow.
back.
Home, this is Leo Kane with Beryl Engineering and Inspection, and I'm dedicating this entire fourth segment to lists and listings.
Well,
because
next.
That's next. We're going to do the list of the lights. We're
gonna
going to
finish it.
spiral out towards Plant City and beyond, and then we're going to go straight into listings.
We are.
Because Beryl Project Engineering loves talking about open houses.
Okay, so where we left off, Largo Central Park, we'll just recap on that. That's an incredible one. It's worth talking about twice. The Lights of Lake Park is in Seminole at 10742 95th Street North. You have Oakdale Lights, which is 2719 Oakdale Street South in St. Petersburg. You also have Enchant Christmas at the Trop. I heard that was amazing. Are you going to that?
I'm going to the Enchant one. Like tonight, I guess my family's coming into town, so we're going to do the Riverwalk area in Tampa, and then tomorrow I apparently already have tickets for Enchant.
I would love to go to that. It's just not in the cards for us. We have other stuff going on. But downtown St. Pete Lights. Also, there's Blinking Holiday Lights in Bradenton at 9320 65th Avenue East. There's also Marie Selby Gardens. This is in Sarasota. It's going to cost you $30. It's at 1534 Mound Street. It's ranked among the top 10 botanical gardens holiday light displays in the country. So this is a walkthrough with slow features more than 2 million lights and other holiday botanical decorations.
So, question. When something they say they're in the top 10, that means they're between 6 and 10? Because otherwise you say you're in the top 5? Because that means you're probably 3 to 5. Otherwise you say you're the number 1 or number 2, right?
Okay.
Is that how it works?
I guess.
Let me ask ask Maddie and Abby, is that generally how it works?
I feel so, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 3 on our list, of course, is the Burton family that we had on today. They're at 2014 Sydney Road. Make sure you have Valrico in your GPS. Coming back to Fishhawk, we have Fishhawk area. It's Palamaglade Drive in Lithia.
I would have never been able to pronounce that.
There's also It's a Star Wars Christmas on 14214 Quintessa Lane in Lithia. That's another shopping.
So basically, you have to keep in mind, if you heard a city in an area that you want to check any of these out, you can text our off-air number at 813-377-2775. That's 813-377-2775.
We'll send you the list.
Just give me the zip code. Or
We'll
the
send you the
city.
list.
We'll send you the whole list.
Yeah.
But if you have a certain city you want to check out a light in, we'll make sure you do that.
Also, listen to this one. Singing Light Bulbs and Super Mario Brothers.
And there, Riverview.
Yep, this is at 12705 Charity Hill Court in Riverview.
Totally there.
More than 7,000 synchronized lights.
I want to do that.
Super Mario Bros.
Yep, I want to do
All
that.
right, Hillsborough County Fairgrounds Festival of Lights. There's also 215 Sydney Washer Road in Dover. There's also Christmas Lane in Plant City at the Florida Strawberry Festival Fairgrounds. That'll cost you $8.85. That's at the Fairgrounds in Plant City. And there's also the Wonderland of Lights, $25 in Auburndale. And then Auburndale City Hall is also decorated at 1 Bobby Green Plaza in Auburndale.
And that's the entire list. Like
31.
I said, 813-377-2775. We actually mentioned 32.
You didn't think I could do it.
I added one. 813-377-2775. We'll give you the list of all 32 of the ones.
Yes, 32 we will give you. And let's roll on over to some listings. I
Yeah.
think Leah's a little jealous. He might ask for one.
No. I'll let the ladies do it.
You don't wanna do
They're
it?
professionals. That this is their job. My
right,
job
ladies.
is just to
Pull your-
sponsor the announcement of them announcing the listings.
All right, go first. Abby, go.
All right, so we have one at 527 Zanesville Street in South Pasadena, Florida. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. The cool thing about this coming in the holidays is it has full mother-in-law suite. So if you don't want to see your mother-in-law on the holidays,
It's detached, too.
It's attached. Yeah,
Detached.
Oh, it's detached. I
It's
didn't read that
detached.
far. Well, even better for the mother-in-laws coming around the holidays. And that one's gonna be $450. And then the other one we actually have is a rental at 2923 West Ellis Drive. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath. We've got a lot of traction on this. So if you're interested in this, it's updated flooring, tile. It has a really nice backyard patio as well.
South Tampa.
Oh, yeah.
Big yard. Actually, has a huge yard and a big lanai in the
It
back.
does.
Yeah,
does.
the screen yard in that one is huge.
Which
Screen
means
yard.
you can build
The
a,
screen porch on
if
that
it's a
one.
big yard, you can put another structure back there, right?
You could.
Yeah.
I think you could.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But it's a rental.
You have to get with Leo to do that. Right? It won't be on that one.
And then so the next one we have is in Port Richey. We'll start with one a little closer at 10636 Exora Lane. It's in Pasco, 2-bed, 2-bath, listed at $265. This one's been on the market for a little while, but it's got tile floor throughout, new roof, and it's waterfront. I don't know how this one's still sitting.
It's a nice little pond. It's got
is.
a beautiful view.
Yeah, it is really nice. I hosted an open house there, and it's got a really nice sized lot, a little over a quarter of an acre as well. And the next one we have is in Cape Coral, 226 Northeast 10th Avenue in Cape Coral, 3-bed, 2-bath, listed for $325,000. That one's a great investment property, or just great for first-time home buyers.
So that was a investment property, and they've actually, everything's fresh on it. New roof,
Oh,
new
yeah.
paint, new everything inside.
I have to ask, how did you guys get a Cape Coral listing? That's like 2.5 hours away from
We
here.
actually had 3 down there for a past client, and we agreed to take it because it was them, and we've already sold 2 of the listings. One of them didn't make it on the market. The other one was a family farm. We announced that one. It was almost 10 acres.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was huge. I remember
It
that
was
one.
incredible. It sold.
Star
The neighbor
fruit,
bought it.
all
Yeah.
kinds of stuff on it.
And that was
property
right. It was
amazing.
Pine Island, so right there by the water, Leo. Man, I would have wanted to develop that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was a great property, and that one sold this week. So we only have this little guy left. I don't know why he's hanging on, but we'll have to get him sold too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, that's all we have, right? Active
That is,
listings.
yeah.
We
More
got new
pending.
ones coming.
More pending than
Yeah,
active.
we have some coming. I've got several getting ready to hit the market that are prepping and
Oh, yeah.
getting ready to
Quite a
rock.
few for the new market or new year.
You're
So-
waiting for those interest rates to fall a little bit, and then there's going to be a feeding frenzy.
If you want information on any of our listings or you want this holiday light list of 32, you can call or text us at 813-377-2775. Let us know what you're looking for. We will be glad to help. 813-377-2775. That's our offer number, so you can call us or text us at that number. What else?
That's about it. I'm looking forward to next week. We're going to run through our top 10 lists of top 10 lists, and then we'll run through our top 7 list of our top 10 lists.
Are we doing that now? No.
No, we're not running through any. Well, we ran through a couple of lists, and we checked them twice.
And we're going to find out if Leo is naughty or
I'm
nice.
definitely naughty. And then our goal is to get Katrina to watch one
Christmas movie.
holiday
finally.
classic Christmas movie. Did you watch Miracle on 34th?
No.
Did you go to the Tampa Theater at all?
No.
Polar Express.
No. I did see the Polar Express. I saw
Okay,
it.
there we go. There we go. That's one.
It's not.
Maddie, do you have any
technically
control
classic.
over what this one watches on TV?
You know, I may just have to.
We're going to
This
schedule
weekend,
it.
yeah.
No,
You need to
next
watch
year.
one
Next
Christmas
year.
movie.
Next year, the Tampa Club. I promise you. I'm going to get with Jill. We're going to schedule it. It's going to be a planned family event. You want to go watch
So
one of those?
this year,
at the
this
theater?
this time next week, we need to talk about. We need to open next week's show with what Christmas movie you watched between now and then.
Next week.
Next week, we got to talk about the show.
Gotta get on it.
Oh, yeah.
Evil Night. That doesn't sound like a Christmas movie to
It
me.
sounds like it's a Christmas movie. It's a B-rated horror movie. But anyway, yes.
Yeah, no.
So let's go
I
ahead
know.
and you have 1 week to watch one of the movies. There's like 20 of them to choose from on the list of Tampa Theater. You don't have to watch it at Tampa Theater, but you have to watch one.
All right, I'll pick one.
And we're going to talk about it on the air.
I'll let you know how it goes down. All right, this is Tampa Home Talk.
That's your homework assignment.
Love where you live, or we're going to fix it. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Don't forget to smash like or subscribe wherever you're watching on your social channels. And we'll be back next week for the final show of the year. Happy 2014 and a Merry Christmas.